The new home market in Denver has been affected by a lot of different things, and we used to have quite a bit of inventory just 2 years ago. Our inventory has dropped tremendously. On the market today, before I left here, there's 28,117 properties available in the Denver metro area. That's condos, townhomes, and regular homes. Of that, about almost 2,700 are new homes advertised by builders or new construction that has not been sold. And so that inventory has dropped that's about a third of what it was a year ago. And now we're running into builders not building more properties and not building spec properties. So we're running out of inventory in that. Last year at this time, there was probably 37,000 properties available on the market. So right now, when you take that 28,000 minus 2,700, we're at 25, whatever, 25.3 or whatever. Of that, 15,000 are approximately the only ones that aren't bank-owned. So you got about 10,000 bank-owned properties still showing in the market. And on all those properties, we got about, anywhere from 2 to 10 to 15 bids on each property. And Sean will talk about that a little bit more. So the new properties, what's happened in the Denver metro area is builders have had to adjust to what the market is doing right now. A lot of the developers are just saying, we're not going to sell off our land at lower values because we see the market coming back. We're going to hold out and keep these properties. So builders at the same time are saying, we're not going to construct homes where we don't make any money. So to sell off their excess inventory, we manage to grab as many of those as we can and get the discounts. My job, especially with the ICG people, is to find new construction companies who are looking at inventory or building properties that would fit into the scenario that you guys are interested in. Cash flow. The cash flows are generally not as high, but we're looking at values of properties. A property that looks like that in the Northeast corridor that may have sold for $280,000 3 or 4 years ago is now, we have some deals for $210,000. We also had a Centex, I saw that in the last thing from the Raleigh-Durham people, a Centex 2,440 square foot house. And that's probably the most price per square foot house that we have right now in a really good area with all new schools and all new building and everything else at $217,300. So that's a pretty darn good price. And it's going to rent in that $1,600, $1,650 range. So that's not a monster cash flow, but the value increases on those because of our market are tremendous. The other thing that I didn't mention was 8,500 homes are currently under contract in Denver in that snapshot I looked at just before I left for here. So if you take that and you divide that into the 28,000 properties available in Denver, we have a 3.5 months supply. There are very few markets that have that kind of sale volume right now. And there's a lot of different reasons for it, but the biggest thing is that the builder inventory is reduced. All the builders have reduced their size, and we're selling dirt properties and different properties all over the Denver area. It depends on what you like. We do have attached properties that are in really good locations over near this ConocoPhillips location, some of the things towards the Boulder area, towards the west side of town. Some people are going to prefer that. We're designed to work with what you want. We have builders all over. I've been working in the Denver market for a long time. On one of the previous slides, you saw I've sold about 3,000 homes. So that's about as many as anybody's done in Denver. So I have a lot of practice with it, and I know all the areas of town, as does Sean and all of our partnerships. So what I go in and talk to the builders, and we have, we work on getting discounts. One particular builder that we're working with has just done a price reduction across the board, just dropped their prices on locations from $20,000 to $40,000 from what they would have charged last year. Because last year what they did was they priced it at this high number, then advertised some huge deep discount, and then sell the properties that way. Now they're saying, well, the heck with it. Let's not have this fake higher price. Let's just give it the price that we can really sell it at. And then we get them to put on all the options that we wish that they need, the sprinkler systems, the air conditioning, the fencing, upgrades, stainless steel appliances, all the things that are critical when you're renting property, that we think are very important. We don't want you to do a lot of work on the houses that'll be, you're going to have a renter in them, so they may do a little beating up of the property. So what we do is we will then turn around, and when it's time to sell that property, we'll stay in touch with you. And obviously we're in touch with the new home construction all the time, so we have a pretty good idea, as far as when it's time to move your property. Maybe it's time to move from Denver. Maybe it's time to move into a different kind of property. We find that value for you, You know, that, hey, this is the time, this is the peak, or as close to it as we can get. Or you say you want to get out of the thing, and then at that time, we can make a few more upgrades that may be the best thing at that time. Back in the mid-80s or mid-90s in Denver, gray carpet was really a new trend and really cool. Well, now nobody wants gray carpet. So, you know, there's different things that will change as we go through this. And so it's really important that you have some really experienced staff, not only to enter this market and buy right, but also to move into the next part. So now we're going to go on to the REO piece.
Yeah, let me just talk about one more thing because I think we got 5 minutes left. One thing I just want to touch on real quick is there's a big reason why you need to buy right now in Denver when we're talking about REOs. There's been a change in the foreclosure law in Denver. It was actually a law that changed 2 years ago, but it took effect as of January 1st. They eliminated the redemption period in Colorado now. It used to be, Colorado was a real agricultural state, so you would foreclose on a property and there was a 120-day redemption period where the owner still had rights to the property to redeem the house. They could actually come back and pay the bank their money and get the house back. Well, the problem is consumers, the owners, they didn't understand this law. So they knew that their house went to foreclosure and went to sale. And so they would literally just move out. Well, the banks didn't own the home. So the banks couldn't go in there and just, you know, board them up and da-da-da. You know, they can secure their asset, but it took time for them to identify when the consumer moved out. That's what I've been doing for the past 4 years for the Veterans Administration. I've done that for a long time. Knock on the door, hello, anybody there? You know, gun to your head, you know. Not fun, not a good job. But, now I lost track of where I'm at. But what's happened now is there's no more redemption period. The front side of the foreclosure, which used to take 35 to 45 days, now takes 120 days in residential. Okay? At the end of that 120 days, the house is sold and the keys are turned from the homeowner to the bank. And now what we do, instead of going to them and saying, we're going to kick you out at the end of your redemption period, we go and we knock on their door and they know the sale date's coming and say, hey, Mr. Seller, you know your sale date's on the 25th. I'm going to be here on the 26th. I'd like you to hand me the keys, and when you hand me the keys, I'm going to give you a check for $500. And all I want you to do is move out of the house and keep it clean and give me the keys. And then I walk right into the house, I go to the basement, I shut the water off, okay, I rekey the door, I lock it up, and the house is secure. The difference is the houses that we used to have were trashed. They were stuff stolen out of them. There were broken windows. They were dilapidated. Now, that is the current inventory that's on the market right now. That's the same houses that are out there. That's why I was saying is the HUDs and the REOs need a lot of work. What's going to happen in the Denver's market is these now houses are going to be in great condition, and they're going to be priced off of the poor conditioned houses. You understand? Because when an appraiser appraises a house or we BPO a house, we base it off of past history of the same square footage. Well, the condition is going to be much better, and the prices are going to be less. It sounds great for us as investors to be able to go in and say, hey, this is going to be great, we're going to buy these houses. That's not the truth. That's not what's going to happen. It's going to make it harder for us as investors to get in because now the people who own or occupy houses, the buyers who want to buy them, who couldn't buy them before because they needed $10,000 to fix, now they can buy them because they're in good condition. So now the banks aren't going to be selling to us investors. They're going to be selling to the owner occupants, which is going to make the prices go from here to here. They're going to shoot up because now, right now, the way the market is the owner occupants have to spend about $145,000, $150,000 for the same house we can buy from our guys after they're repaired for $115,000 to $120,000. Okay, the owner occupants have to pay $145,000. That's the market value for those houses. What will happen is all of a sudden you're just going to see this sharp dip when these new homes hit the market. There's 4,000 homes that are going to hit the market here in the next 3 months. Okay, because they stopped foreclosing on homes last year. And they just restarted January 1st. Now, we're going to see a drop because of increase in inventory. But right after that drop, all these people that are waiting on the sidelines, and trust me, in Denver, there's tons of people waiting on the sidelines to buy these homes. They're going to come in, they're going to buy those up, and you're going to see an increase in those prices. There's going to be a sharp decline, and then they're going to pop back up. By March of next year, you mark my words, you'll see Money Magazine is going to say, Denver just appreciated 10%. And it's over, guys. It's over. Right now, ICG is one of the only big investment companies, groups, that I've identified Denver because we know, we talk to everybody. Scott and I pound the pavement every day to talk to different investors, realtors, builders, whatever. And right now, we are one of the biggest games in town. By March of next year, you're going to be competing with the entire country to buy real estate in Denver. That's my prediction, and so far, and the audio knows me and knows that I'm a technical guy and I run numbers and I have numbers on top of my numbers. We'll see if that's true, but in my prediction, you guys got to jump now. Now is the time to get in.